Okay, I'd like to give Kirby and his entire organization a lot of credit. They're a solid, really, really good football team in really every area. And looking at game planning going into it, we knew that we would have some struggles moving the ball in certain situations. They're better up close and in person than I knew they were good, but I think they're a little bit better than they may get credit for nationally. They're as good and solid as a team as I've gone against in a long time. And I thought our defense gave up 2 touchdowns, played a lot of snaps, put in some adverse situations. I thought they did some good things. And you held them to 4 field goals. We would have given up touchdowns instead of field goals in those situations. It never would have been a game. But defensively, they hung in there and they fought and they competed. And I was proud of the way that they played at times. Offensively, we've got to get some things figured out because we're going to need to score some points in the last 3 weeks to have a chance in each one of the games. We've got enough playmakers to go do that, and we've got to find answers and get it fixed. I thought Taylor went in and battled, made some decisions that were right, made some that were not, but to step in the way that he did, I thought he did some things to try to manage the game in the short passing areas that gave us a chance. We didn't win many one-on-one matchups there, and we had an opportunity to make catches on the ball. We didn't make many. Connor came in the second half and did some nice things. On the 2 drives he was in there. Both of those guys have unique and different skill sets than maybe what we've seen up so far this year, and they're going to continue to grow, and they're going to be good players. So, I am certain that we'll get Kelly back and ready to go. I think he'll get really close to 100%, which we're going to need him. We'll have Jonathan Johnson back next week, it looks like, which would be nice. And then we've got to do a great job on finding, like I said earlier, ways to score points. And defensively, going into the next week, we'll have a challenge. I know Florida's defense is really good as well. So, the positives that I look at, I've got 3 opportunities now, 2 at home and 1 away or a neutral site. And I'm going to focus on those. I'm going to coach and pour into the guys, and I know we're anxious to get back home and get back on track. With that, I'll go ahead and open it up.
At what point did you kind of realize that Kelly wasn't going to be able to go tonight?
Well, I had a pretty good indication last night, but also relied heavily on our docs and sports medicine. It's a fine line there, and Kelly's, he's such a great kid and a tremendous competitor that he wanted to play and felt like that he could, but also the percentage of being able to run and function and do the things that you need to at that position. I don't know that it would have been wise to put him out there. And thankfully, this working together, he's frustrated, but working with our docs and sports medicine. If we get out in the 3rd play, he re-injures it somewhat, then it could be that he's out for the rest of the year, and that's not something that I think is smart as you make a decision on looking at your team and what the decisions you have to make, in the injury world. That's why we have a great team of docs, and they assist in those areas. And I don't know that he would have been able to function the way we needed to be able to play the game at the level he needed to.
Was JJ the sickness that he had earlier?
Yeah, I just couldn't overcome that. But I think he was down. Nico Hay had mono, a month ago or whatever, and we've had some guys that have been sick. Anticipate JJ being back in action, tomorrow when we get back in meetings, and then obviously Tuesday when we get back on the field.
On offense, without Kelly and his line, his legs, how does that kind of change how you guys kind of game plan?
Well, I think more than anything, you look at whoever the number 2 is at every position. You always train as you're the starter. So, because you're always one play away from being the guy, right? Whether it's quarterback or left guard or starting safety and back up there. So Taylor's always prepared as he's going to be the starter. We had to manage the reps this week a little bit differently because Kelly's injury and in the early part of the week, Taylor got a few more than normal, but also some of the things in the pass game, we didn't move the pocket as much. It was more get the ball out quicker, or try to anyway, than extending the play as Kelly has an opportunity to do, and with the ability that he has in running the ball as well.
You mentioned that you said there's some things that need to change with the offense. What are kind of, I guess, the biggest things in your mind that you need to get?
Well, I think, we can't walk out of 3 weeks and still, we got to be able to score points. And it doesn't matter how many yards rushing or passing that we do or don't have, somehow, some way, we got to put points on the board. And, we can't go in another cycle in another 7-day period of time, and I can't be standing here next week saying the same thing. So, we've got to find a way as a staff to be able to move the ball, and then we get the red area to come away with points. And we haven't been able to do that, and we got to get it fixed. And we're going to need to score points. That's a very elementary statement, but we've got to score down the stretch. And every game is going to be decided in the fourth quarter, would be my guess. Here in the next 3 weeks, and we're going to have to put a drive together to go win the game at some point, and we got to find answers to do that. We had a lot of targets tonight to our tight end. And I thought there are opportunities there. One down the sideline that Nance made a heck of a play on the 3rd down to get his foot down, but really we didn't have anything explosive that really helped us out.
Speaking of that lack of explosive plays, especially from the receivers, is that a concern, I guess, after a couple weeks of not having a big?
Well, I think, but you also look at the way that the guys we were going against tonight, we didn't get open, and the times we were open, missed one. I know down the middle of the field, down the seam one time, we just didn't get there because of the rush. We didn't get through the progression that we needed to. So we got to keep on grinding. I mean, nobody feels sorry for us. Right? We got to find a way to go do it, and so. Back to work.
What led to the decision to switch Connor into the game?
Well, we were trying to get a little more of a spark. I wanted to get him some experience, and I thought he could do some things on the quick reads and delivering the ball. Taylor had been under pressure a lot, and kind of give Connor in there, give him a shot. And I thought he did a nice job.
Barry, how challenged do you feel right now? Not just fixing the offense and X's and O's, but just kind of getting the morale back to this team after 3 tough ones.
Yeah, we'll be okay. I mean, it's always a challenge. I don't want to minimize that, Dave. I don't mean to answer by that, but I know the buttons I've got to push, and I'm ready to get back home and let's get back to work, and we're going to be okay. That is a reason of question and concern. I think for everyone, but we're going to be all right. And I know what we've got. I know what I've got to do, and I know what our staff's got to do. And it's not easy because you got to control the noise between your ears. And the great thing about that is you get a chance to do it. Now the mental toughness of being able to do it day after day after day, the more you sit around and allow yourself to fall into that, then it's more difficult. But we know that we've got an opportunity here in a few days to get back in the arena. We got to find a way to win a game. So, we're going to push really hard, and I'm going to push with everything I got in every area. And I like the foundation that we're on, and because of the relationships and the way this place and our organization is built, we're going to be all right.
What are kind of some of the things that give you confidence right now?
I still, I've got a lot of confidence in the locker room, and I know what I've got. We're not where we want to be, but we got 3 games left, and we're going to go push. We're going to go keep swinging, and we're going to come up with a way with the guys we got to go get a win.